All right, Loony. Well, first off, thank you for taking the time with the interview. I know post-match interviews after a loss can be tough, so thank you. A bit of a rough weekend for you for the team out in London. Where do you think things started to go wrong for you?
I think the Piccadilly against London. We were up 4-2, had an opportunity to go up 5-2, maybe even 5-1. I can't really remember the round exactly. And then we just kept throwing away rounds to make it, so they went up 2-0 actually, instead of it being tied 1-1. I think we ended up winning the Dom, so obviously that could have switched up in 2-1 in our favor and at least guaranteed another Game 5, which is our most comfortable game mode at the time. So I think that's kind of where it went wrong.
There's got to be some positives that you can take out of this weekend when you go back. You are leaving the competition, but when you go back and you start to look at the VODs, what do you think some of the positives you're going to be able to come out with from the weekend in London?
I think the positive is just that we are putting ourselves in position to win the map. It's not kind of like that Game 4 against Paris where we knew we couldn't win the map at some point. So I think just throughout the entire weekend, we put ourselves in a position to win maps, but then we're just making that crucial mistake that the other team would take advantage of, which is what Call of Duty is. So I think that's the good takeaway, is that at least we're putting ourselves in positions to close out a map or win a map.
You'll be in Atlanta in a couple weeks, and looking at the schedule, I think it puts you up against the Huntsmen for first round. Tough matchup.
Oh, wow.
I think coming out of this weekend and knowing that that's going to be the first matchup heading into the Atlanta Homestand, how do you guys move forward to make sure you can keep your head above water in the point system?
For sure, it's going to have to be our S&Ds going to have to be really good. Chicago is obviously considered one of the best, if not the best, along with Atlanta. So we know that they're going to be a good all-around team, good at every game mode. So we probably will go into the mentality of taking 2 S&Ds and a respawn. So making sure our S&D is good so we can fall back on that game too, and then just trying to steal a respawn will probably be the plan going forward.
So Bance was subbed into the team for this home series. What has he brought to the team? He was on fire yesterday. What has he done? What energy has he brought to the team for you guys?
The energy is obviously definitely there, especially at an event like this because he's at home. So he definitely brought the energy, brought the slaying power obviously when we needed it, and then and just some comms.
Is the plan to move forward with him in the starting lineup?
I could not tell you. It wasn't my decision to bring him in. That's our coaching staff. So whatever they feel is best moving forward is what they're going to do.
We've seen Gunrunner kind of get put into the spotlight as the map of this weekend, and the map that from talking to all the guys seems to be the most preferred within the pro circuit. Is that the same for you, and why do you think that is?
Yeah, so as pros and just traditionally of what we've been used to, I think Gunrunner falls into that map that makes pretty much a good amount of sense. Ramaza is probably one of the most hated, along with kind of like Petrograd. It's just like the design of the map is instantly like flawed for a competitive sense. So I think, like I said, Gunrunner is just one of those maps that you can really predict spawns for the most part, and it's good. It's one of the best throughout the 3 modes as well.
And, I recently saw this morning that Infinity Ward has released a statement saying they're not going to be adding ranked mode to the game anytime soon. Talking to the fans and talking to the players, something is a big deal, something that is not a big deal. What are your thoughts on ranked mode not being added to the game at the moment?
I think it is a big deal, but it's one of those things where I'm not surprised by. We've had a lack of updates for the competitive scene, so obviously ranked play is something that's competitive, so to see them just brush it off is not surprising, but obviously disappointing.
Would you like to see it added to the game in the future?
Yeah, of course. World War II, I think, had ranked play, and you saw a lot of amateurs grinding it out, and as a pro, you can use that as warm-up, and then people just want to play for something, right? Like whether it's CS or Overwatch and all those that have ranking system, just being promoted is a good feeling. My girlfriend plays League of Legends. She just took a picture yesterday of her being promoted to Bronze 1, so just seeing that promotion, it's like a confirmation that you're improving, so I think that's why people enjoy ranked play.
And final question, the London crowd is known throughout the Call of Duty scene for being the rowdiest. What was it like being around the guys yesterday and the chants and everything? Just talk me through being a player, being on that stage, and getting to experience an audience like the London Ravens audience.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's against you, it's always fun to play in front of, just because they're hyped and stuff like that. I watch a lot of CS, so I'm used to those crowds, and always wish that COD crowds were like that, whether they're cheering for both teams or just one team. So London's one of those where they do cheer for their team, and they make it known. All their little chants and stuff like that are obviously good banter and always fun to listen to and just be a part of.
Well, good luck heading into Atlanta in a couple weeks, and thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.